Frost Insulators and Allied Workers. We have HG Litigation Services, Canadian Auto Workers, and Fujiribo. And donations to our educational scholarship tributes went directly to fund our educational efforts. And we are very pleased that the following law firms have joined forces with us to enable us to bring on these educational conferences. I'd like to first recognize our gold sponsors. It's Clayson, McLean, Abrams, Lyons, Breedwin, and Hardley. Our silver and bronze sponsors are now on the screen, and Waters and Krause is able to be with us here today, along with many of their clients. And again, we're grateful to our event hosts. If you'll check on the signs in the room, you'll see that the Environmental Information Association, Michelle and Paul Ziegabond, and the John McNamara Foundation have generously supported our weekend conference catering and events. Now, our committee, it's a big list, but it's all really important. They have worked for over a year. We're a virtual nonprofit organization. We have no office. Many of us work in pajamas, and you have, for those of you who know me, you're smiling. But I want to take a minute and recognize some of our hardcore ADAO volunteers who made this conference happen. Dr. Richard Lemon, Dr. Arthur Frank, Doug Larkin, Sherry Erzinger, Kate Diana, Caitlin Burton, Emily Reinstein, and Debbie Grano from Manhattan Beach with a hoo-hoo, because we always do that with Debbie. And I wanted to recognize a pair of ADAO volunteers who aren't with us this morning. It's Margie Ernberg and Herman Hamilton, two of the hardest working people imaginable, who are not here but work all year long, not only on the conference but other things. And many of you, I see your heads nodding because you've had communication with Margie and Herman, and they're both delightful. Jordan Zevon has a special place in my heart, because as a national spokesperson for us, he not only shares his time and his talent, but he really shares our mission. Now, this slide is particularly important. 25 of Emily and our closest, our family of friends are here today. Those packets that you picked up, the gift baskets our speakers may have received, personal phone calls, the people in the back of the room are the people not only helping in the conference, but when Alan was ill, they allowed me to take Emily to the market, they brought in food. So we have a community that just goes on, and I am really forever grateful. Now you're here today because you want to learn, and everybody in this room, plaintiffs and defense attorneys, victims, patients, scientists, we're all connected by one common thread, and it's asbestos. So 400 years of knowledge is gathered today. That kind of wisdom and experience doesn't come easy. And I know that together our conference mission to prevent, detect, and treat these asbestos-related diseases will be elevated to a new height. This is really the list of who's who. And I know Helen and Clayson from the UK is probably nodding, recognizing that these are the people that write the books, write the papers, testify in front of Congress. It's a very distinguished list. During our conference, we've taken the opportunity to acknowledge people during these past 5 years, folks that have made a difference, not only to patients, but maybe to members of Congress. And this year, we have 3 terrific people that we're honoring. The year ahead promises to be busy. What a surprise, right? ADAO continued to serve as a trusted congressional resource and witness, and we'll complete phase 2 of our product testing, and we're also going to create a one-stop informational brochure for asbestos victims. We're very excited. It's not formally announced, but you get a little insight. The Pacific Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute, along with the John McNamara Foundation, we're going to launch a Swap the Rock campaign. TC has already been working on this for about a year. For many of you outside of California, you may not know that our state rock is serpentine, which tends to be the host rock for asbestos. We're going to encourage California policymakers to swap the rock. We feel that's important, and it's time. It was actually designated in 1965. The asbestos lobbyists got to the current governor and thought it would be an excellent idea to promote serpentine as a state rock because it's going to bring in so many dollars to California. I want you to know 100 years ago, science and doctors knew the relationship between asbestos and disease. We're not letting the lobbyists win anymore. We're all here, united and together, and it is going to end, and I'm greatly encouraged. Now, Margie's slide tells a powerful story. One life lost to asbestos disease is tragic, but hundreds of thousands of lives lost is unconscionable. Now, fear and despair are paralyzing, and Emily, Alan, and I knew that, but knowledge is power. And we can't change history, but we can give hope to the future. So thank you, one and all, for joining me this weekend, and for your endless support. And I'd like to introduce our partners today with an opening message. Thank you very much.